Wow. Um, what a week in the world of football, especially if you're a Ravens fan. It has been absolutely crazy. Crazy. And it's like reaching astronomical levels of crazy. It seems like we're on the downward spiral of everything, but we'll see. Well, not the downward spiral, sort of a downward trend in everything, but we'll see, because every day has been something new. So it's been a mess, man. But anyway, I appreciate y'all checking into the podcast. I believe we're on episode 12, but I forget what episode we're on. This is the Black Friday edition of the podcast, because today is Black Friday. The Black Friday they've changed so much over the years, man. They have changed so much over the years. Things are just so much different from how they used to be. I remember when Black Friday was like, it was Black Friday. It was like, oh, it was a real deal, man. And and it wasn't all this online stuff. It wasn't all this online, like you had to be there at whatever store, at whatever mall, in line, getting whatever you were getting for whatever kind of deal you were getting on whatever you were buying. But things are just different. They're different. So much more is done online. But even with Black Friday, with everything going on with the whole pandemic, that's changed everything too. Because me and my wife and Carter, we were driving around yesterday, just looking to get something to eat, just a little snack, and then everything was closed. I even expected some restaurants to be open, because usually, even though I know it's a Thanksgiving holiday, there are usually some restaurants that are still open. But yesterday, none. And of course, that's you got to give credit to the pandemic for that, because places have been closing a lot earlier. Like even our Walmart down here is 24 hours. Well, they used to be 24 hours, but not anymore. Not anymore. So that has changed a lot, and just everything, man. But we did end up going to Wawa, and Wawa is a gas station. So gas stations are always open. The one thing that's always open on holidays, gas stations and Chinese restaurants. The Chinese restaurant, they don't play, boy. They be open for everything. They don't care what it is. They say, hey, y'all might be celebrating whatever y'all celebrating, but we're going to be open for business. Y'all let us know what you need. They are always open. But yeah, we went to Wawa, got some things. Then I headed back to the crib, started watching Ratatouille, and then I ended up going to sleep. I ended up falling asleep during the movie. I woke up like toward the end of it, then ended up going right back to sleep again. I was tired, because I woke up early yesterday morning, and I think I went for a bike ride yesterday morning. Woke up early yesterday morning, went for a bike ride, and never took a nap, never fully recuperated and recovered from waking up early. But it's all good, man. So, and I literally just got back from riding my bike like this morning, like just now. Like right now I'm recording this at 9:51 a.m. on Friday morning, November 27th. And I just got back from my bike ride. So it's always fun. It's always nice going on a little bike ride. I went on this bike ride solo because my wife and Carter, they still knocked out. But when I go on a solo bike ride, I get to go as fast as I want to. I got these headphones that I got from Five Below, and these, like, in Five Below, they just recently put that store like down here, but it's where everything just cheap there. It's like it's just a cheap place. So I remember the first time that I went with my wife, she was like, "Oh, I just want to go look for some weights there." I said, "Okay, cool." So we went, and I'm thinking, "Oh, it's Five Below." I'm thinking, and when we got in there, we saw this little. Oh no, not weights. She didn't need weights. She needed a stepping. She needed these steps. I forgot exactly what it's called, but the little stepping stool that when you working out, the little stepping stool that you step on. So we went in there to look for that. So I'm thinking, okay, might be $5, might be $15, whatever. And so we'll see how much it is when we get there. So we got there and we saw it, but we ended up spending like $50. And we only went for one thing, but ended up getting a whole bunch of other things. And these headphones, I got these Bluetooth headphones that I use on my bike rides, and sometimes I'll use them if I'm doing work or if I'm like studying or something. For meeting, I will use these headphones to just if my wife or if Carter, if they in the house with me too, which they usually are, then I use those headphones sometimes just so I could really try to focus. But they're pretty good. And again, they $5 and they Bluetooth headphones, so they're wireless and they work just fine, man. They work just fine. So that ended up being a good buy from Five Below. Now we did also buy some little LED lights from Five Below. They were small. They could fit like on the back of a computer monitor, well, a small monitor. And I put them on the back of mine, and I put them on the back of a TV, and they just they weren't the best quality. The adhesive was really bad, and so not everything from Five Below was a hit, but the headphones were, the lights weren't. I think we got some candy and something else. We got Carter some stuff too. But anyway, that was my Five Below experience. Now again, Black Friday. Like I said, we were riding around yesterday and Black Friday. Just the whole dynamic of Black Friday has changed a lot. It's not as many people like waiting outside the stores and the lines anymore, obviously because of social distancing and the pandemic, but there are still people waiting outside the stores. Because PlayStation 5 is the hot commodity right now, and Xbox Series S or X or whatever, it's really not like that. Like, everybody wants a PlayStation 5. I want a PlayStation 5. I still haven't been able to get one yet, but I ain't in no rush. I'm not about, like, we saw somebody, we were riding around, it was a little bit before 7. And we saw people waiting in line at GameStops. And a little before 7 p.m. The GameStops, I checked what time they open tomorrow for Black Friday. Well, today. But they open at 7 a.m. And there were people in line at like 7 p.m. last night. And I was like, no, not me. Not me. I ain't doing that. Nope. I couldn't believe it. I could believe it, but at the same time, I couldn't believe it. Like, they were posted up, waiting for those PS5s, or whatever. Maybe they waiting for Xbox, too. Maybe some of them were like, you know what, if I can't get the PS5, I just get the Xbox. So, I'm like, man, hats off to them, but I ain't doing that. Me and my wife were talking about it, like, if we ever did that, like, it'd be fun, obviously, with more people there, but, nah, I'm not about to sit outside in a line for 12 hours just get a PS5? No, I don't want it that bad. I don't want it that bad. So I'll wait till they release more. I don't even know why they're doing it like this. Like, people are gonna buy the PS5s over the Xbox. I don't know why they just it seems like they're just holding out. I don't know what it is. I do not know what it is. But it is what it is. Anyway, speaking of PlayStations, I remember years ago, obviously back when things were normal, years ago, for Black Friday, because in Black Friday things used to open up, like stores used to open up at like 12 in the morning. But then every year they just started opening up earlier and earlier and earlier. They'd be like, okay, now we open at 11 p.m. on Thanksgiving night. Now we open at 10 p.m. Thanksgiving night. Now we open at 5 p.m. Thanksgiving night. Like, these stores just open earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier. So Black Friday ended up really being Black Thursday and Friday. But I remember years ago, this was probably like in 2000. Me and my wife got married in 2012. This had to be like maybe like 2010, I think. Something like that. It was when whenever the PlayStation 3s came out. Was it I think it was, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was PlayStation 3. Let me see. PlayStation 3 release date. I'm looking it up right now. PlayStation 3 release date. Oh, November 11, 2006. Was it? Okay, I don't think it was that long. Well, let me see PlayStation 4 release date. No, November 2016. So that wasn't it. It was for one of the PlayStation. Well, I guess it had to be a PlayStation 3. Was it that? No, it wasn't that long ago, though. Oh, wait a minute. It says it was released in Japan on November 11, 2006. Oh, but North America, 2000. What? Yeah, whatever it was a PlayStation that I was in line to get. Me and my boy, we had went to Walmart. It wasn't a PlayStation 4 because I didn't get that till after marriage. So it was a PlayStation 3, but they were having some deal on it. I obviously didn't have a PlayStation 3 at the time, but Walmart was having some deal on it. And me and my boy, we went to Walmart. We ended up driving over there to go stand in line, wait for the PS3, I believe. And so we were waiting, and surprisingly, I ended up getting one. And I was like, wow, we ain't even had to wait for that long. And because I think they end up giving out like tickets or something for when you start standing in line or something. I forgot what it was, but end up getting a PlayStation. So I'm happy and all that. Get back to the house. I'm playing. I think I was playing Uncharted. I was playing something, but get back to the house. I'm playing it, having fun, enjoying it, all that good stuff. And I think he got one too. I'm not 100% sure, but we were roommates at the time. But anyway, it came time to pay rent at the apartment that we were living in. So I'm like, okay, it's time to pay rent. Cool. We split it down the middle, half and half. Cool. So let me check for my half. Let me check the bank account. That thing was looking rough, man, and it was not enough. It was not. I didn't have enough to pay the rent. So then I had to make a big boy decision, and I had to take back the PlayStation. Oh my goodness, that hurt, man. That hurt. I had to take back that PlayStation. I really didn't want to, but I had to take it back. So, and I was sad too. Oh, I was sad. I was sad. That bank account was hurting, man. Ooh, and I had to take it back, and I was like, oh gosh. But hey, you got to choose between having a PlayStation and having a station where you can actually play, and a station where you can actually live too. So that was, even though it was an easy decision, it wasn't an easy decision. So that thing was tough, man. But took it back. And then there was another time too. Oh man, with my boy too. It's in that same apartment where a lot of our friends, they were getting ready to drive up from Miami to go up to Orlando. I forgot what time of the year it was. I forgot what it was for, but a bunch of them were getting ready to go, and me and my boy, we were gonna go too. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. We going too. And it was like a last minute decision for us to go. So I'm like, all right, we go. We pack our stuff and whatever. We like, all right, we about to ride out, man. We going too. So we get to the gas station. Got to the gas station, and I'm getting ready to fill up my car because obviously need gas to drive. Oh yeah, because I was gonna take my own car. Because I like when it comes to like going on trips. And this like a whole nother story or whatever. Not even a story, but a whole nother topic. But when it comes to going on like group trips with people, I don't mind, but I love having my own method of transportation, because if I don't, like, then you got to do everything that everybody else does, and I ain't no vibe killer, nothing like that. Like that ain't me. But I just I like being able to do our own thing too. I love that. Me, my wife, and Carter, we going somewhere and we going with a group. I like us being able to do our own thing too. What if the group doing something we ain't really feeling like that, or what if we want to go explore or something like that? So yeah. But anyway. So we went to the gas station, and we were like, okay, yeah, we about to go to Orlando with the group. All right, let's get it, man. So I get to, I put my card in to the gas thing or whatever at the gas station at the pump, and I put the pump inside the gas tank of the car, and so I start filling it up, and it gets to, I think it got to like $2, something like that. Then it just stopped. I'm like, what? Like, man, something must be wrong with this gas pump, man. Something got to be wrong with it. So it stopped the transaction. So then I started again. Put my card in, put in information, whatever, zip code, all that good stuff, and put the pump back in the gas tank. Nothing. It would not go for nothing. I'm like, what is going on with this thing, man? Like, and it was so weird. I'm like, man, I don't know what's wrong with this gas pump. So I went and so I'm like, let me call the bank just to make sure, man, because this is doing loopy stuff, man. This thing acting weird, man. So I went and I called the bank, and you know when you first call the bank, put your information in, and say, oh, they tell you your balance right away. And the balance was at my balance in my bank account. It was either at like 2 cents or it was in the negatives, and I was like, oh wow. So that was heartbreak right there. That trip got canceled right away. And I think I was actually on unemployment at that time. And I was like for sure that my unemployment had hit my bank account. I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. We good. We about to go. But yep, nothing. So that was a bit of a big yikes. But nah, it's all good, and these are things that happen throughout life. Some of the funny stories that you think about, like when you're in the moment, is obviously it's not funny. It's no fun, but when you look back at it, you could laugh at it, and that's part of life, man. For me, it's just laughing at a lot of stuff. Laughing at a lot of stuff, making fun of a lot of stuff, making fun of people. Like me and my wife, we make fun of each other all the time. Same with us and Carter. Carter with us. Like all three of us, we always make fun of each other all the time. All the time. And that's like I told y'all before in previous episodes. That's like if I can't make fun of you, like if I can't make fun of you, then I ain't really rocking with you like that. Not that I got a problem with you or anything, but we not really that close. If I can't say like slick stuff to you, if I can't make fun of you, if you can't make fun of me like that, we not really that close. Cause I mean and that's just me. That's not how it is for everybody. Like, and that's not a big deal or anything, but that's just me. Cause I enjoy it. It's like a term of endearment or something. Well, not a term, cause making fun of people is not a term. But that's just the way we show love, man. Like with all my boys, like growing up and stuff, and still to this day, we still do the same thing. Like when we get together and whatever. But that's how it is. We always make fun of each other, all the time, man. So anyway, that's that. But I thank y'all for listening. When I was out on my bike ride this morning, I don't know why I thought of it. I don't know what I was thinking of, but I got to give a special shout out. And this is even before the pandemic, but it's of course after the pandemic too. But a special shout out to like teachers, nurses. I think it was, maybe I saw like a dead animal on the side of the road or something. And then I started thinking about nurses. I forgot what it was, but I'm like, man, like people in healthcare, like nurses, doctors, all that RN, all that stuff. Like these people have such a tough job. Because, and I was thinking, I could not do it, man. I cannot do it because you run the risk every single day of seeing people like lose their lives, like right in front of you, in your arms, in your care, in your unit, on your floor, whatever you call it. And boy, they are tough for that, man. I just think I could not do it. I couldn't do it. I'd be at work crying every day. Like me, I'd be crying over football games sometimes. I haven't cried over a football game in a little while, well, ever since last year. I think the football game that made me cry was the 49ers game. Oh boy, that Ravens 49ers game. Where did it go to overtime? Whatever it was, and Ravens end up winning at the very end. Oh, we're on a Justin Tucker field goal. That was like proud tears though. That was like, oh yeah, we did it. Oh man, I was so proud of them. But like if me, a dude crying over a football game, I'm not built for no to be in healthcare dealing with that. Like, I couldn't do it, man. Too much emotions right there, man. So shout out to them. Shout out to teachers. Again, this is before and after the pandemic, because that's a very hard job. Because you're dealing with all these kids, and then you get close to all these kids too. Some of them are having different issues that you don't even initially know about, but a lot of times those things come out while you're teaching them, while you're getting to know them. So being a teacher, that's a tough job, and there are so many different tough jobs out there. No, one of them that I have worked before was fast food. Oh my goodness, that is tough. Working fast food is tough because it's customer service, and I've worked customer service too, but fast food is a different type of customer, because I work customer service on the phone. That's one thing, and that can be tough, because people sometimes you talking to people, they a lot of people feel like they can talk to you any kind of way. A lot of people feel like they are entitled, especially if you like, because I've worked at different customer service places, and you talking to like business owners and stuff. A lot of them feel like, oh, I own a business, you are serving me. And so I can talk to you any type of way. And that would be one thing. And that, I mean, sometimes I got in trouble for being slick back with them, but I didn't regret it. But anyway, with fast food, that's tough, man. Cause I worked at Wendy's twice. I worked at one Wendy's in Miami and one Wendy's in Tallahassee, and I worked at Miami Subs too. And did I work anymore? I don't think I worked at any more fast food. But for Wendy's, like, this is food. This is food, and it's customer service because the customers literally, you're serving the customers, and they're literally right there in front of you. They're right there in front of you. Like, you're not on the phone with them. It's not through a chat. It's not through email. No, you right there. They're right there in front of your face. So with them being right there in front of you, like, whoo, that's tough. That is tough, and I give it to anybody that's working fast food. If you've ever worked it, or if you're working it right now, I give it up to them, because that is a tough job. Now me, I didn't really deal with the customers that much, because when I was working at fast food, first I started like Kanye West said in that song. This last week was the fries. I forgot what he said in the song, but anyway, I started off cooking the fries. So all I had to do was drop fries in the oil or in the fryer or whatever, and then take them out. That was it. Simple. And then if I was working overnight, then I had to clean the floors too. That was annoying, but it was fun, because that was I think that was one of my first jobs, and we just had fun there. Like, I work with fun people there. Well, in Miami, Tallahassee, I don't even remember how it was in Tallahassee, but in Miami it was fun. But what I was about to say. Oh, so yeah, I dropped the fries at first, and then after I was doing that for a little while, they were like, all right, I moved to the next step, and that was cooking the burgers. So I guess that's where I learned how to grill was from working at Wendy's. But I had to start flipping the burgers and stuff, and for the burgers, what they do at Wendy's, they actually, for the chili, which is really good. And even when I found this out, it never made me stop eating the chili, even after I stopped working there. What they do for the chili is burgers that they didn't end up using that night. So they put them in the freezer. They leave them in the freezer for 3 days, and then they take them out, and then they mash them up, and that's the ground beef that's in the chili. The ground beef that they use for the chili for Wendy's is burgers that they didn't use and that they had in the freezer for 3 days, and they mash it up and use it for the chili. So I don't think it's a big deal. I know some people are like, oh, that's gross, it's not fresh. No, it ain't fresh. I mean, you go into a fast food place, can't really expect too much. But it's I don't know, it wasn't a big deal. Like me working at, some people feel like if they work at a fast food place, they feel like, oh, I'll get tired of that food. Who? Not me. Never got tired of Wendy's, and I worked there. That was years ago. Never ever got tired of eating Wendy's, ever. So, we're just a little bit different than those people that say that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Fast food, that's a tough job. That's a tough job, because you dealing directly with them customers, and when you're dealing with people, when it comes to dealing with people with their money and with their food, it's a whole nother animal, man. It's a whole nother animal. So, whew, yeah, that's tough, man. That is tough. So, anyway, shout out to all of y'all. Let's take a quick break, and then we're gonna get into this football talk. All right, excuse me, and welcome back. Now, with these Ravens, it has been a big yikes, and it's just been a mess. It's been crazy. It has been just wild. I told y'all, well, in the video, I told y'all, one of my boys, a couple days ago, I think it was, what day was it? I forget what day it was on, but a couple days ago, when this whole Ravens little outbreak news started coming out, he was like, he sent me the picture of Lamar and Trace walking side by side each other, and where'd it go? I'm looking for it right now. Oh, side by side each other. It was on Monday. He sent it to me. Today's Friday. He sent it to me on Monday, and his words, I quote, he said, "Bruh, And then he said, if Lamar doesn't have it, he'll be a close contact. Because, of course, we know that Trace McSorley, he got put on that list. And so he's been out. And Trace McSorley's obviously a quarterback. Lamar's obviously a quarterback. And so that was that. And then yesterday, and it's crazy because the news came out yesterday while the game was actually supposed to be on. It came out right during the time when the game between the Ravens and Steelers was originally supposed to be on. That Lamar, they put him on the list. They put him on the list. So on the COVID-19 list, see, I can say it on this channel. I can't say it on the regular one because I told y'all YouTube, they don't play about that, man. They don't play about that. So that's why we always say they're on the not team keep it clean list. And I know 99% of y'all understand what that is already. I've only had one person though. I have had one guy who commented. He commented the other day, and I couldn't get mad at him. He was like, I'm new here, but what is the not team keep it clean list? What does that even mean? But yeah, man, it's crazy because they've had just this week alone, Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, Pernell McPhee, Trace McSorley, he started last week, I believe. But Trace McSorley's on there, but then Pat McCarry and Matt Skura went on there too, and Calais Campbell, and Brandon Williams is on the high risk side. Now I think that's why I love the comment section because, and I love being honest. I love that I can be honest. And people, they don't, because I ain't no expert. I'm certainly not no expert. I don't know everything. It's a lot that I just straight up don't know. But that's why I love Team Keep It Clean, because what I was saying on there in the video, that when they put somebody on the COVID list, that when you put them on there, I believe that they have to be out for 10 days. But y'all, a lot of Team Keep It Clean let me know, like, hey, well, if they are asymptomatic, so if they don't have any symptoms, then, and they pass tests for 5 days straight, then they can come back after 5 days. But if they are symptomatic, if they are showing symptoms, then they have to be out 10 days. So we haven't heard what Lamar is yet. I did read a little breakdown that Jamison Hensley did yesterday, and it was like, oh man, that kind of hurt. He said, the Ravens believe Lamar Jackson became infected in Sunday's game versus the Titans and is only now testing positive. Jackson took snaps from center Matt Skura. Jackson took snaps from center Pat McCarry, who tested positive. Jackson's locker room on game day is close to running backs J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram, who both tested positive. So it's just been a big yikes all over for this whole situation. And now it's like, oof, what are these Ravens gonna do? All hope is not lost though. It's certainly not lost, because we have RG3, and this is part of the reason that the Ravens kept RG3, and they didn't trade him at the deadline. They still have RG3, and Tyler Huntley will be RG3's backup. But this is the second time that Brandon Williams has been on a high-risk list. This actually gives him a chance to play if the game is still even on Sunday. But they said that his ankle is still rough. The ankle is still rough. Marlon Humphrey, he was on the list, obviously, a couple weeks ago. Eamon Marshall, who's on injury reserve, even he was on the list. So who else? And they said it's the strength and conditioning coach, Steve Saunders. That's what they said. I'm a little hesitant to believe it. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like it could be one of those things where, and I said this in the video where we talked about it last night, but I feel like it could be one of them things where they trying to just play the blame game, and like they trying their best to avoid any fines from the NFL, any punishment from the NFL, and they trying to be like, okay, we took care of business, we handled it in house, so NFL, y'all don't have to worry about it. And we find out exactly who the culprit was. It was him. It was Steve Saunders. But I almost feel like that could possibly be a cover up to cover somebody else, and he could be serving as the fall guy. Taking the rep for somebody else who, if they showed the person who really was the one that was messing up, then it would be a big yikes for them. But hey, those are things that you never know, and we'll probably never find out. But it is what it is. The bottom line is that the situation is just it's wild. And then we hear about Larry Fitzgerald. They said that Larry Fitzgerald had it. Then this morning it came out that somebody from the Broncos had it. And then last night it came out that somebody from the Browns had it. And then it's just been all over. It's been all over. I think Falcons said last week somebody from them had it. And just it's all over. And then I've been seeing a lot of people say, oh man, see, the NFL, they should have never had a season this year. And it's like, man, like, the people that have been saying that, okay, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, which is fine. But my opinion on that, I see people say that who would certainly, like, they were cheering the Ravens on, like, oh yeah, we won, we do it, let's go. They'd be happy after every Ravens game, well, especially after the wins. But it's like, if you really felt like they shouldn't have had a season, you wasn't saying all that months ago when the season was going good and things were going good, and the Ravens players, they were still team keep it clean. They ain't get infected with no cold or nothing like that. You wasn't saying that then. But now all of a sudden, now that Ravens, they had an outbreak, now it's, oh, the season, they should have never had a season. NFL should have never started a season. Yeah, I can't really rock with that like that. Because, I mean, and it's a bit of recency bias, of course, caught up in the moment. But it is what it is, man. This thing is just, it's been crazy. But they'll get it under control. They'll get it handled. Now, moving forward, it's obviously holiday time. A lot of players are around their families and stuff, holidays and all that. And so we'll see what happens moving forward. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. I ain't going to worry about it. Whatever happens, happens. And that'll be that. Like, straight up, that'll be that. But, I mean, first, well, I didn't say it first, but the most important thing is that everybody gets healthy. Everybody gets to feeling better. Because you guys to remember that these players, they are playing the NFL for our entertainment. For our entertainment and for their jobs too, because that's how they make their money. And the best entertainers get paid the most money. But they playing for our entertainment. They don't have to go out there and play. They could retire at the drop of a dime. They could be like, you know what? Not feeling this. I'm out. But no, they keep going. Well, most of them. So they put their bodies and their health at risk and whatever for our entertainment. So shout out to them for being willing to do that. And it is a tough job, physical job, very demanding job. So shout out to all of them. But we'll see what Ravens end up doing. But going into Pittsburgh, if the game is even still played on Sunday at 1:15, then it'll be RG3 who's the guy. And this will be a nice chance for RG3 to really showcase himself. Because this is the last year of his contract. I don't see the Ravens re-signing him after this. But this is his chance to really show, like, hey, I can still do some things in this league. And especially if he does it against the Steelers, a top defense, a fast defense. If he does it against the Steelers, okay. And of course, RG3, you know, he's wanted a chance to start back in the league again after everything went down in his career. So you never know. Never know what RG3 might shake something up, man. Better watch out for RG3. But we'll see what happens. But it should be fun. Again, whenever the game does happen. But for Lamar, he is, well, I haven't heard if he was symptomatic or asymptomatic or blah blah blah, whatever. I haven't heard that yet. So that'll determine whether he's out possibly 5 days or whether it is the full 10 days. So, because that's very important information moving forward. I have heard talk about a possible forfeit. And that would be a last resort. And I didn't know that, because I just saw the news coming out recently, that with a forfeit, both teams wouldn't get paid. While the Steelers will get the win, the Ravens will get the loss, both teams wouldn't get paid. So, that would be bad all around. That would be the worst possible situation. You know how annoying that would be? Like, as a as a Steelers player, looking at it from their side, like, man, we ain't do nothing wrong, but we gotta win. Okay, cool. Moving forward, it's a weird win, but we gotta win. But we don't get paid for it though. We don't get paid because somebody on their end didn't handle business. Oh, we don't like that. I would be heated. Personally, I would be heated. And then looking at it from the Ravens side, it's like, man, yeah, we messed up, but we ain't even get a chance to even try. Even with what we got, even though we're a little bit short-handed, we didn't even get a chance to try to mess with Pittsburgh. We didn't even get a shot, and we not getting paid. What? So yeah, it would be just that would be a lose-lose. Well, for the Ravens, it would be a lose-lose-lose, but it would just be a lose-lose on both sides. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I know there's also been talk about a possible Week 18. That would just I don't know what's gonna happen. It's just, again, this is an anomaly of a season. This season has been just crazy. It's been so much that's been going down, so much that's been happening. I was listening to Jeremy Fowler earlier today, and he was saying that this season is a season of a lot of firsts, and that was a perfect explanation for it, because that's exactly what it is. A lot of firsts, first time for this, first time for that, and NFL just gotta roll with it. They gotta roll with it. They chose to have a season, which I'm glad they did, but they chose to have a season, and you gotta deal with these things as they come about. Now with them, if they would have possibly had a bubble, that's so tough, because with a bubble in NBA, and I think for NBA, I believe the way that they did it when they took everybody to Orlando, I think that was only playoff teams. They played like a couple games before they got to the playoffs, before they started playoffs, I believe. I don't remember exactly how it worked, but I know not every NBA team went there. Not every NBA team went to the bubble. So that's something to think about. And NBA teams are much smaller than NFL, like much smaller. They are about what the NBA have, 13 people on a game day roster, I believe, because they got 5 starters and then I think the 7 people on the bench, I believe. But NFL has 53-man roster. On game day is 46 that are active. So yeah, the NFL roster size on game day is 4 times bigger than NBA. So it's just no comparison. It's no comparison. So for NFL to have tried to do a bubble, that would have been something. They could have all had everybody at like in one state, so not everybody moving around, and then these people, they wouldn't have been able to see their families for the whole NFL season. Just like NBA season, they didn't get to see their families and stuff until like towards the end, like towards the playoffs and stuff. Then they start letting people in a little bit, not too much, but it just, with NFL, it will be so much more difficult to do the whole bubble thing. Then you got to think of scheduling. You got to think of like time frames and time zones of where these teams are from, so their fans can watch the games and stuff. And it is just so much that will go into it. But I don't know, man. We'll see what ends up happening. It has just been, it's been something. But like y'all know me, I was just grateful to even have a season. I was boy, because I always thought there was gonna be a season, but there was some times when I was like, it started getting a little worried, a little bit. I was like, but NFL, they handled it, they took care of business, and boom, we here in week 12, I think. So yeah, man, we'll see what ends up happening. But NFL, they got this far. They got this far. So just keep going, keep pushing. You'll get it. You'll get it. And they almost there. We got a little while to go. We got December, January, and February. So we got 3 more months. That's kind of sad, man. That's kind of sad when you think about it, because this the NFL, man. NFL best, reign supreme, far better than NBA, baseball, hockey, whatever, and anything. It's much better than all those other sports. But it goes by so fast. Every year goes by so fast. Like it's about to be December. It's about to be December of the NFL season. So this thing that started in, there was obviously no preseason. NFL season started right in September. Started right in September, and they just jumped straight into it. So we'll see what happens with everything. But we still waiting word today. Like right now, it's 10:35 a.m. Friday, November 27th. Still waiting word on if this game is officially going to be on, because they haven't said that it's officially going to be off. They said right now, plans for now, still moving forward with the game as scheduled. Well, as scheduled now for Sunday at 1:15. So that's what it is for now, and we'll see moving forward. If plans change or if they remain the same. So yeah, that's that. So anyway, team, keep it clean. I thank you all for listening. Thank you all for just supporting this podcast, because again, we have a lot of fun on here. And I hope that y'all are having a really good day. I hope that y'all have a really good week, a really good rest of the year. I know things have been pretty rough for a lot of people this year. Things have been much different than we all used to. But keep going, man. Just keep going. Keep pushing. Because it's not over. Like, the year is almost over. And it has been quite an eventful year. But really, every year is eventful when you think about it. Every year is eventful. Every single one. But this year has been a different kind of eventful because a lot of people have been a lot more depressed and a lot more down, especially because you're stuck in a house. You can't see your friends, you can't see your family, and even when you do see them, stuff is restricted, stuff is not the same. It's just a lot of people's plans have gotten canceled, a lot of their trips, a lot of their vacations, just things are just way different, man. So it's really unfortunate. It's extremely unfortunate. So you got to feel for people. So I always say, man, check up on people. Even if you just send a text, you send them a DM, you send them an email, you send them anything, or you give them a call. Whatever you can do, check up on people. Just check up on them. Oh, and it ain't got to be nothing complicated. It ain't got to be nothing over the top. Hey, how you doing? I'm just checking on you. That's it. That's it. That's it. You ain't got to send no long, detailed, crazy message. No. Hey, I'm just checking on you. How you doing? That's it. See how they are. Anyway, I hope y'all doing good. And on that note, we going, man. I appreciate y'all listening. Thank you. We going. We out.
Shout out to Ingravenvids.